Okay, hey, happy Monday, mindful Monday at that. Tracy here, paying it forward to you. And here we are on the third of the four agreements. So, just to recap real quick, Don Miguel Ruiz's four agreements. Number one is to be impeccable with your word. Number two, don't take anything personally. Number three, don't make assumptions. And four is always, always, always do your best. So here we go. So today is number three, and this Mindful Monday talking about not making assumptions. And it always makes me think of that, that little saying, don't assume, it makes a ass out of you and me, right? And I remember being told that, and that is one side of the coin with the whole assumptions thing. But the other part of it is that really, when we are assuming, it's our tendency to go negative, right? So we go totally negative, and we're usually going into a judgment. And it's usually all about insecurities, right? So we're assuming what somebody else is thinking, what somebody else is feeling, what somebody else is saying, doing, or even what they meant. And it's just an utter mess. It's just, it's just messy. And it's a huge source of misunderstanding, of conflict, of disagreements, of distress, and just needless drama. So let's stop making assumptions. And unfortunately, it's just so easy for us to do because it really is in that realm of judgments. We're watching something or hear something or told something, see something, and we just make an assumption about it. We put our own meaning onto something. And, whether that's, we're at work and we came to get some coffee and two people are talking and they stop when they see you. And then they whisper a little bit more and you're getting your coffee and you leave and then you hear some laughing. And, there are a lot of people who will assume they must have been speaking about me. What were they saying? And it was like, maybe they weren't speaking about you at all. Chances are they probably weren't. They could have been speaking about somebody else in the office and then you came in. And so they stopped talking, whispered some more, cracked a joke about whatever. Or who the hell knows? Maybe they're showing each other something on their phone and, looking at some picture and laughing about something else that is totally unrelated to you. But there you go for the rest of the day, feeling like you were being spoken about behind your back and just having a crummy day and feeling all this insecurity around the other two, women in your office. So it's just, it should just be a question. Or, you know what, maybe you should question yourself. So there you go. So really, to take away the power of assumptions is to question. So a simple question could be, you're not going to ask them, are you talking about me? But you know what, maybe you should question why you're even thinking that they are. Just because you thought it doesn't make it true. So not to be afraid to question, and that includes questioning yourself, because whether assumption is true or not, that even just that, how are you going to say an assumption is there's any truth in an assumption when you even say what an assumption is? It's crazy, and we do it to ourselves. So stop the assuming. And it's the same thing when we're just like asking somebody, like I use that example about, what do you want for dinner, or do you want to see this movie or something? And they're, oh yeah. Well, then you're assuming, well, oh, they didn't really sound like they wanted that, right? Are they being impeccable with their word? And that's when you should ask them then, hey, do you really want chicken or not? Do you really want to watch this movie, or was there another movie that she had in mind? Because once you ask the question and somebody is very confronted with it, then they have the choice whether or not to actually give an answer. And then you have to go by that. But if you don't ask the question and you just assume what their answer or non-answer or whatever it is, you're assuming what they meant, you're just going down a whole road to, again, of misunderstandings, conflict, distress, and needless drama. So ask the question, and ask the question of yourself too. Is this really true? Where's this coming from? Is there any truth to this? And if not, go ask the question of the people who would know. Or just decide that you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, let me look in here again. This is the companion book that goes a little bit deeper than just the Four Agreements if you haven't read it, and has lots of stuff. So, again, just kind of quoting that, he talks about too that they just thinking the what ifs in and of itself create a huge drama, and that we can divide everything into what we know, the known, what we don't know, the unknown, and what we have absolutely no idea, which is the unknowable. And that's just it. What somebody else is thinking or feeling is completely, you have no business really thinking that you know what somebody else is saying, thinking, doing, what they meant. You'd be upset if somebody tried to tell you what you were thinking or what you meant. So why do we think we can do that to others? So you only know what you believe about them and the situation, and it's only true for you, no one else, because it's your dream. And here we go again. You know, it's a story. It's a story we tell ourselves, and some stories are worth telling, and other ones just aren't. So let's not make assumptions. Let's do that. Try to do that for this whole week. Watch yourself. Am I assuming that they meant something? And if you're not sure, and it seems like not very sure, you're not getting a definitive answer, and you don't know what they actually meant, don't be afraid to just ask. And it is how you ask it, but go and ask. Go and ask first. Okay? Be brave, be courageous, and just nip it in the bud and go ask. What did you mean by, or what exactly did you mean when you said, or what you did? Whatever it is, okay? But if we take that out of it, then we're really saving ourselves and everybody around us the needless drama. All right, so have a great Monday. And you got any comments or shares or whatever, or something that you've had with this, assumptions, anything, write it below. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And have an awesome week, a mindful week. And I'll see you next Monday. Cheers.